And we are live with Lori from The Way of Positive Change.
Hello, hello. Happy 4th of July.
Happy July 4th, everybody. I froze. My internet has also been dropping in and out a little bit. So if I disappear, y'all continue on. So just a reminder to everybody while we're waiting on people to come in, if you're trying to book a reading with me or inquire about a reading, please visit my website at www.jenlintarot.com. All the bookings go through that now as opposed to my 1,500 emails I couldn't keep up with. So I actually did a reading for someone yesterday that had been trying for a year to get in with me. July is pretty much booked up. August is booking up quickly. So if you're wanting an appointment, my schedule, I've opened it up through January. Y'all have any housekeeping? Johnie, you're live tomorrow with Rolled Lentil and Shining Rock, right?
Yes, 3 p.m.
Eastern time.
Yes. Right? And then I'm going live at some point during the week. I don't know exactly when though, because I got some questions in the phone that I need to take out the phone that I forgot to do beforehand. So I'll have to go live at some point in the week. I recorded my videos for the channel already. I had 41, and I still had a bunch of questions. So I'm gonna go live and just do them all there.
Cool. I'm gonna miss your live tomorrow because I'll be at guitar lesson.
I need to take guitar lessons.
I'm loving it.
I always wanted to.
That's great. I'm going to go live. I don't know which day because I have no idea. I'm on the Gulf Coast of Florida, and this storm is kaflooey. Is it going to be a storm or a hurricane? So we won't know till it gets on the doorstep. So I have no idea. So
we'll put a protection bubble around you, protect you from that hurricane.
Great. Thank you.
I wanted to start with lighting a candle for the victims of the Surfside building collapse in Florida. A lot of people asked us to read different questions on Surfside, and I really don't want to read on that. So anyone that wants to light a candle with me, feel free. I'm just going to ask Archangel Raphael, Saint Raphael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ariel, we surrender to your mercy, compassion, and healing. We ask that you ease the transition of the victims of the Surfside building collapse, ease their transition to the other side. We ask that you be with their families this week as they are going to have to tear down the rest of the building before the tropical storm hits. We ask that you surround them with love and healing. And we thank you for being with them. It's like reading on it gets into almost a morbid curiosity, and I just don't want to go there. So we're not going to do any of the questions that you guys left on Surfside. Well, I guess we should start with Weaselberg, the weasel. Anybody that watched, Becca did a grand tableau on him Friday night, but it would only go through September, right, Becca?
Yeah, because that's the timeline that I set.
Yeah, because it would only go out through September, so that's when his trial is starting, but that's when they're setting the dates for the rest of the trial, getting the agreements of how they're going to operate. So I just want to look at, will he be convicted and will he go to jail?
Can I say this first? This is like ironic funny. The one person Donald Trump pays gets in trouble. Everybody else, he stiffs the bill. The one person he's giving money to gets in trouble. I just find that funny. Good old Medusa.
Thank you, Mara. I have a feeling his trial's going to drag out a while.
I mean, Don Jr. already threw you under the bus. He paid for his grandkids' schooling. I mean, because he's a nice guy. Well, we're supposed to be denying that, sir. No, not like altogether.
You know they paid for private schooling for all the Trump grandkids, too, out of that.
Goodness gracious.
I'm thinking there's some similar charges. We'll look at that next. I eat pace saying it was only 3.5 million, which is admitting guilt, by the way.
Honestly, he was in Sarasota last night, and there were people there that they were there at 8 a.m. in the morning and wasn't due until 8 p.m.
Wait all day to hear that.
Will Weaselberg get convicted and go to jail? And there's the thief card.
Thank you, Pamela.
Thank you, Pam.
I don't get a yes or no, and some of my cards are reversed, so I have to flip them again. My son came up reversed, but I just flipped it up. We'll be fair and say that's not a bad sign or anything. But go ahead.
I always get all my transitioning cards. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to do him in.
Mine starts with the Six of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune first. And there his greed, his money, his fortune, his payments under the table, all that good stuff. It is there. So that is when I get my sun reversed without saying. There is some illumination upon that in which he has no control over coming out.
Oh, I got that too.
He has no control over his fate, period. There is an offer with the Knight of Cups, but it is sort of meeting a wall of resistance. There's a stalemate to this too. It ends in the Eight of Wands, which means this goes on. There's more talking, more negotiations. I put some more cards, got the fighting and the bickering and all that. So I don't get jail. I don't get institutionalized or nothing like that yet. What I get is court. He is going to court. He will be in custody, but I don't get like he's going to serve the next 15 years behind bars or nothing. But we'll see. Maybe it's too early.
Thank you, SO. Thank you, Scoo Man. What'd you get, Lori?
Well, I got two of the same cards that Johnie got. They're gonna, try to make him a deal, and he's gonna pay. He's absolutely gonna pay. There's gonna be fines and all that. There's something here with his family. Now this gets really. This is his challenge card. So this gets real sticky for him. He has fear about his family, and that's right under this big offer. But I don't think he's going to jail. I do not think he's going to jail. Not anytime soon. There's a lot of change coming. So I got something very similar, but Trump has something on him. He has something on him. So I don't think not with these two. So what did you guys get?
Thank you, Monique. What'd you get, Becca?
Does he go to jail? No. I get that he wins the argument. However, I asked if he would be convicted. there is a very important financial person here, some sort of an executive within the network. That person gets the spotlight on them. But it's a very significant executive man, whether that's Trump or other executives that are in the network that they congregate with. This could be the inauguration, something. But for jail, I get no. I'm sorry, I get no. So
Yeah, I start with the feeling of nostalgia, wanting things the way they used to be. His challenge is he's a thief, and there's an abundance of gifts and money involved here. But I get it's unfinished. Thank you, Letitia. Like the trial doesn't finish, and then I get, you know, all these cards like exiting life, you know, transitioning to the other side and the last judgment. I don't think he makes it to the end. I really don't.
Wow.
I'll just go on the record because that's the second time I've thrown on him and I've gotten something.
Well, can we do a little existential? How does he feel right now, and see what's going on in his head?
Or maybe we should look at his health.
Because he could be in that same spot Michael Cohen, well, he more than likely is, and that now he's defeated. You know, he had the perp walk. Everybody got to see you. You got the flashing lights and people behind you. You got your mask and your handcuffs on. Like, this is not where your life was supposed to be headed. Thank you, Judy. At this point in your life, like, you thought you were a tenured executive. He's been doing bookkeeping since 1914, and then all of a sudden, here comes Goofus, the second Trump, and then he gets caught after all this time. Like, life is upside down. How does he feel now?
I'm going to throw some cards on his health while y'all throw on how's he feeling now.
How's he feeling now?
I think he feels bullied and exposed. I get the King of Wands here. So he doesn't really have a plan. He wants, thank you, JC. He wants somebody else to come save the day, kind of like Michael Cohen did, and Michael Flynn, and Michael Jackson, and everybody else who's Michael. But here, there's some exposure. There's like serious exposure. And then there is some very strong feelings from somebody else. He feels bullied. He feels like somebody needs to come help. And it is around the company. Also, there is something, he kind of fears the wagons are circling him. Thank you, Sue. And Michael Cohen said this, and I believe this, that Weisselberg is not the target. They're circling the wagon. They're undermining the allies. And so he feels as though somebody else in the company will be targeted. Thank you, Patty. And they are going to also draw lines to him, and that this is going to get worse. So he has to kind of submit to his fate, as it were. Well, good for you.
Johnie, while the other two ladies go, will you pull some cards on his health? I want to see if you back up what I'm getting. So what'd you get, Lori? How's he feeling?
Well, at first I think he felt bullied. I've got the same card that Johnie got, the five of swords. This is all very embarrassing and really icky. And he became a little bit unstable there. And then I think he drank too much. I think he just really overindulged and just really did just too much, too much. And so I think that's sort of where he's at. He's all foggy and he's all in the cups, I think he thinks if he waits it out, this is all a gamble and he might come out of it okay.
Yeah.
I think.
What are you getting, Becca?
I got the heart, the Lily's man, writer, and letter. I get that he's pretty chill about the whole thing. It's been a long awaited thing that he knew. Like he saw this coming. But overall he's got the lilies right before, so I don't think he's much bothered by it. He's already anticipated the results of where he's gonna be. So that's what I get.
I get he's not sleeping at night. His anxiety is kicking in big time. He's got issues in his central nervous system, and also he has an imbalance in his blood. He has a similar problem to Trump the Fool. He's got an addiction issue, and he's drinking way too much. And then I get rather quickly coming in, I get the death card. I get that separating from life, something affecting his heart, and transitioning.
Good grief.
I don't think he's going to make it. And I keep putting these cards back in a different place, and they keep coming back out together.
So you think he's going to get tickets to the park?
I think he's going to get tickets to the park. I think he's got an addiction and a drinking problem. For entertainment purposes only, YouTube. But I think he's going to transition.
What are you getting, Johnie?
I get that there is something wrong in his bones, as in there's a lack of something. I don't know if it's calcium or what it is in particularly, but it affects like 3 different areas though. One is the back, one is the legs. There's a clot there too. There's also there's a deficiency. It has to be a vitamin of some sort. There's a deficiency in his bones, in his blood, and he's got deficiency up and down. There is something new that comes from something old. So there is like kind of like McConnell, who had what did he have? Polio back in the day. Now he has balance problems now and all that type of stuff. So there is something that sort of returns that causes a new problem, or this could be a medication that is causing a new issue as well, because I do get a medication card here. But he's got a clot for sure, which is in the leg. And there's also something about restlessness. So he is not sleeping. Well, I mean, your whole life is coming to an end. Like they put you in jail for God's sake. So I can see that part. That's what I get.
So nobody else is getting the tickets to the park cards. When am I getting it? That's crazy. So what was it you asked earlier, Johnie? Will like something else come from?
Did something from Cohen come into situation here? Like Cohen, when he had to do all his cooperating and questioning, he knew a lot about Weisselberg apparently, and he definitely knew a lot about Trump org. I should say, because that's what he said. And so, did something from his testimony affect Weisselberg now? He also said, because Joy Reid was talking to him and asked him, when was the last time Trump talked to you before all your crap started? Because basically they were wanting to know, is Weisselberg talking to Trump right now? Like, are they having daily conversations? He said no. He said the last thing he spoke to him about was something unrelated to what he was going through. So Trump kind of abandoned it.
Okay, so the question is Trump and Weisselberg having...
No, the question was, did something from Cohen's testimony affect Weisselberg?
Oh, okay, great.
And all the documents he gave. Because he had a basement full of them.
I would like to know, though, if they are talking.
What'd you get, Johnny?
I get yes, basically. But it's probably more complicated than that. I think it's not just a Weisselberg. It started with the woman and kids here. There may be, and this may not be like Ivana and the Dragon Children. This could be the Weisselberg people. But there's a woman and kids here. There's something that's either was not litigated, but was that involved Cohen somehow. That he gave information, financial information on this, on women and children. He has a lot of financial information about Trump.org, which I think then precipitated a whole bunch of other types of investigation. And maybe this has to do with that private school that was subpoenaed and all that good stuff. But yes, what he gave them led to some other investigations for Weisselberg. Not totally completely, but it led into other things. Yes.
What'd you get, Lori?
I got a yes, and a yes. And I also, when they called him into court, I think that his testimony, it was huge.
Yeah.
It was really big. Really, really big. A lot about the money. And yeah, I got 2 nights a king. They brought it all. It all came in there.
I get the same thing. Like when he testified to the grand jury in the court, I get a big old yes, and it led to an action, moved them to higher ground. And I get, with the courts, like he had the proof of the gifts of money, strong evidence, for the investigators and the judge. I get that he also had something about a woman in the family, so that's probably Ivanka. That will lead to another transition in this case. There's a contract that has her name on it. And there's something also with the mother, so that's probably Melania. There's also a contract that has Melania's name on it. What'd you get, Becca?
Give them something that's affecting Weasel now? Yes. And like you said, it's around a woman and a contract for financing. I don't know who that is. Maybe, and this is also relationships, so maybe the promise to pay Stormy Daniels or Ivanka Trump. I don't know, but it's around a woman and finances.
Well, let's look at Ivanka because, she lied under oath and acted like she didn't know who Weisselberg was. I don't know.
So what are we looking at her for? What's the question?
If Ivanka's going to get indicted. Because her name was on paperwork and checks and stuff.
That whole family. Goodness.
Fifi, as I have renamed her. Fifi. Yes. Snorties, Fifi, and I eat paste.
I'll get a yes for consulting. There's the friend, there's loyalty. There's a consulting right there with the fish. And then boom, there's your yes. They have her in all different directions. It's like she's got like a spotlight on her for she's the star consultant. We'll just say that. So yeah.
Thank you, Sunflower.
Thank you, Sunflower. May I ask a question while you guys are pulling cards just to fill in the space? Is anybody barbecuing today? Any good food for 4th of July in the chat and in the room?
Food.
It was really weird here. I've always lived in areas where hamburger buns outsold hot dog buns. And I went in the store today because I thought, it'll be slow. I'll do my shopping. And I go in, and the whole hot dog bun section was wiped out. They love hot dogs and brats and stuff here.
I don't understand, like, which way is it? You get hot dogs and then hot dog buns, but is it too many hot dogs and not enough hot dog buns?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah, there's 10 hot dogs in a package and 8 buns in a package.
Yeah. Makes no sense.
And then I saw this one guy hauling to the car he had somebody helping him, 2 big grocery carts full of corn, still in the husk. Like, I was like, wow, he's having a massive cookout.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, I don't know how many dozen ears of corn, but it was 2 grocery carts full of corn.
Oh, wow.
I was like, wow, he's got to have a lot of grills to get all that corn on the grill.
Yeah, I made nachos last night, and I think today we're gonna have grilled salmon and then avocado and something else. So that's our 4th of July barbecue. Nothing special. Sorry to interrupt. What do you guys get for the Ivanka being indicted?
What you getting, Johnny?
I get pressured, and which means that they're going to bring a charge, yes. But it's more of a circling the wagon type thing. So this is how it started.
Oof.
With the 10 of swords and the 2 of swords. It's like, based upon what you tell me in the next 10 minutes, something could happen that you wouldn't like. You will be watching your kids grow up on Instagram. So based upon what it is you tell me, there is information that they need, and I do not see a pushback. I don't see her withholding information. There is something that's being given out right there. It does have to do with money and business and collaborations and good times and party times and all that 3 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles type thing, naturally. It does have to do with a scheme. It does have to do with lost money and lost resources and that type of thing. But right now, there is no end to it, which means that based upon what she says, this could go either way. She'll probably plead not guilty like Weaselberg.
What'd you get, Lori?
I see that there is a woman here, because I've got the Queen of Wands on her side. That's her obstacle. It's her challenge about a party and charges. And I'm going to say the inaugural funds happening here. It looks like this takes quite some time to put together with the Hangman and the 7 of Pentacles. She thinks she's going to come out of it stinking clean. But I think that there's going to be, 3 matters, since we got 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, and in the 5 of Cups, we've got 3 down. I think she has a way to escape here. Like, she has 2 things that she can choose from. And the Empress is right underneath her. So I don't think that she's going in the clinker just yet. But this isn't a good outcome card for her. She's going to be sorry and regretful about her past actions. And she's going to have to choose one of these things to get her out of this mess. She doesn't happen for a bit yet, though. I don't think.
Yeah, I get that there's like an abundance of information on her. I have on the bottom, like, they've got all the wisdom. They've already got all the information on her. But she's, her challenge is her dad, and how she cooperated with him as sort of an inside person in the firm, and also about lies that they told. I get a big old yes crowning the reading. And then I see her partnering with the investigators. So the victory with that, I think they get her to flip on her dad. She's got regrets about things she said under oath in the past. And they've got strong evidence against her to put her in defense mode. So she's going to get anxious. But it's kind of a wait and see thing, because there's someone else that did a lot of the details on the work too, that they're going after, another man.
It's interesting because Ren and Stimpy, I Eat Paste, and Mr. Sniffy, were all over Fox News and OANN and Newsmax bragging about how Alan Weiselberg only stole $3.5 million. Well, they're approximating Ivanka Trump stole over 26 million just from the consulting scam that she was an employee, but he also hired her as a consultant. So over 26 million. So, yeah.
Plus, if whatever happened with the inaugural funds,
Yes.
which, I mean, that was like 107 million, and they only spent like 20 million of it or something. So there's a lot of money right there.
Yep.
So
I have a question, if I can.
yeah,
It was. I've done the reading already. I'm gonna do it again. I was a bit of a joke, but I do want to know who is the next person to regret they knew Donald Trump. Like who's the next? I said it in the video. Who's the next contestant on I regret I knew Donald Trump?
Get out your bingo cards, folks.
Who's the next person that gets bad publicity? Who gets put in jail? Who gets charged with something? Who's the next person? Weiselberg is now. Then they have person A and person B. Whoever is in those indictments.
So what is the question? Who's the next person that is going to regret knowing Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't want to go in there, then you must have something to say. Okay.
Woo.
Okay. It may be a tie. There's two women. I get Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords. One of them is around money and work and conversations, and the other one may be a mother to him or his children. So might be Melania and Ivanka. Or just some woman he worked with.
what do you get, Lori?
Wow. I've got a lot of people here.
So everybody.
I have the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords, the Emperor, the Justice, and the Knight of Swords on his side. The first thing I'm gonna say is somebody that was involved in the January 6th thing, that sits in a very high place. In a very, very high place. That's what I'm coming up with first, and then I'm just going with that first.
I think you're right.
What'd you get, Becca?
I get it's a person that has suffered a very significant loss in government, but because that person's only worried about keeping the money flowing. Bringing the money, and it's just gaga. Look.
So is it Donald Trump himself regrets knowing Donald Trump?
It's someone in government. It's someone in government.
Oh, somebody is still in government.
Somebody that's still in government. There's the tower. And then this person has been there a very long time, but they like the money and they want the money to keep flowing in. But this happened here, a significant, horrible, painful loss, possibly death, you know? So I don't know if that's McCarthy or McConnell or who, you know?
Well, I get it's somebody that sacrifices themselves for him. And it's someone that has a new action sitting right on top of him, like something's getting ready to happen. And, heartbreak for the family. This person, I'm going to say it's a man because I got a mail card coming up here, gets very burdened and gets questioned by the courts. and he talks, and argues, and talks about all the corrupt details that went on with him and his company. It's, I feel like it's somebody that has been cut from the company, or is distancing themselves. So I'm going to say maybe Jared, like he's distancing himself from Trump, and he's got unfinished work with him. He's kind of walked away from him, but there's something tangible. Knock knock, you get a subpoena.
So everybody.
I'm kind of feeling Jared. Yeah.
Mint julep, everybody.
Well, like Weaselberg, the Weasel, like they paid for his grandkids' school and his cars for him and his wife and all that. Well, they did it for Don Jr. and I Eat Pace and Fifi. So are they also going to get in trouble for the same things that the Weasel got in trouble for?
Well,
all their kids went to private school
because they were all employees of Trump. So what he's getting in trouble for is being paid under the table. So you think they got paid under the table too?
Yeah, if they did it the same way and they didn't report it as a gift on their taxes. That's what happened to Weisselberg. He didn't report it on his income as a gift.
I was watching that Glenn Kirshner clip, and he was saying Trump went from I know everything about taxes to taxes is hard. He probably didn't even know how to spell taxes. T-A, is it a silent Q?
Yeah.
I fell out.
That was hysterical.
I didn't see that one.
That's my kind of petty right there.
And Ivanka, she's got 3 kids. They paid for private school for all of them and did it under the table without paying taxes. And then Trump's down there also saying it is a rally. Well, who could understand all this stuff? After being such an expert on taxes, now he's acting like he can't explain it.
Mm-hmm. I get I get defending injustice right off the bat. So there is yes, there's a lot coming at you. This had something to do with stingy, not paying for things, keeping it to yourself, money under the table, blocking it from the federal government, that type of thing. Thank you, Sheldon. So yes, there will be some trouble for at least 2 people, the man and the woman, or the 2 men here, but I'm pretty sure she's here if I pull enough cards, but yeah.
I'm getting all 3 of them. What are you getting, Lori?
Yeah, I've got the 2 kings and the queens, and I know they're not kings, but they are adult males.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it comes out. It comes out. They gambled with it. They took all kinds of risks. They're going to get hauled in. They go to court.
Yeah. What did you get, Becca?
For I Eat Paste, yes, he's already anticipating and working on a defense, his fight. For Sniffy, yeah.
Yeah, I get there's Daddy. I get, coming for all of them with an indictment and actions because they manipulated the books every day, the whole freaking family. I get a 3 card here and I get a 3 card here. So I think all 3 of them, they held the money very close to their chests and kept some hidden away. And I get a big old yes card here. I get a little quid pro quo or sliding money under the table from the corporate accounts. And yeah, the all 3 of them. And there's, it's going to spread. It's not just them. It's going to spread.
Can I ask a petty question, please?
Yeah.
Speaking of I Eat Paste and Sniffy, They were at a rally yesterday in Sarasota for their dad, and all it was grievance after grievance after grievance after grievance, how they're going after them, and Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden, like they said Hunter Biden more times than they have zeros after how much money they're worth. So Sniffy said, physics is not based on facts. Physics is based on what you say. What is that word? Not language, but like when you're talking.
Vocabulary?
Not vocabulary, but like when you're talking and you're trying to use language to set an agenda. Like
Intention?
What's that?
Intention?
No.
Physics is not based on facts, it's based upon the narrative.
Narrative, thank you.
Oh.
Physics is not based on facts. Physics is based on the narrative. And the media is trying to use physics while not understanding the narrative. How many truckfuls of cocaine did Don Jr. sniff before the rally yesterday? Because that made no sense at all. No sense at all.
It's not based upon facts, it's based upon how you talk about it.
Yeah. Physics.
Which is what they've done all along. It's how Trump talks about it. Lie, lie, lie. Keep repeating it till people believe him.
Oh gosh. The
Except for
sad
those
part
with
is
the
he
brain.
has a whole crowd of people that would.
So was Trump Jr. high at the rally yesterday? That's a hell yes. I'm going to ask how many truckloads of cocaine he snorted. How many truckloads of cocaine did Don Jr. snort?
Donut shop. Let's see.
I cannot believe he said that. Like, it broke my brain. I was like, wait, did I hear that right? I had to rewind it. I was like, what?
He and others.
Yeah, I was going to say he wasn't by himself.
I got that too. There were some others. And they do this as a not an antidepressant, but what do you call it? Like they're trying to calm down. It's not a downer, is not the word I was trying to use, but they're trying to calm themselves. And so it's like before you go on stage, you do a little, and then you go on out there, and then you're good to go. So,
But isn't cocaine an upper, not a downer? So
I don't know.
even have that
They do
one.
it to calm their nerves. They're calming their nerves because it's a lot of energy that they're trying to contain. So they're calming their nerves. But it was him and a few other people.
I get 3.
I get 3 too.
I get that. Yes, he was high as hell. The whole entourage was in on it, and they snorted 4 truckloads of cocaine. 4.
I think he did 3 and spilled some.
That's what you call sloppy right there.
I get he was unbalanced because he went and visited his local apothecary, and said, "Here, give me some stuff like you always do." Yeah, he made a little deal before he went up on stage, and I get there was 3 of them. One of them kind of crashed and burned. There's a gentleman that kind of crashed and burned. Trump was out of his freaking mind. But I get a big old yes, and Don was like really walking a fine line, trying to hang on. But the family, yeah, and drinking.
Kimberly the gargoyle was there too, and I was like, oh dear God, she's definitely coked up on something the way she was talking. I was like, dear Lord Jesus, help.
Yep. They probably wouldn't have to file bankruptcy if they quit spending all their money on blow.
Yeah.
For entertainment purposes only.
The devil is on the bottom.
Yeah, karma, baby.
Where did you see the replay of it, Becca? I was with my granddaughter all day, so I haven't seen it.
David Pakman was live streaming it and commenting during the mess of a rally that was yesterday. So David Pakman, the David Pakman Show, he's got a YouTube channel. But I was like, oh my gosh.
He's so funny when he's doing those live streams and commenting when they're out of their heads.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of out of his head, Tucker Carlson claimed that he's being spied on by the NSA. But all of the other newscasters on Fox News haven't said boo about it. They haven't mentioned it. They haven't supported him. They just aren't even acknowledging it. So what's going on at Fox? Are they not supporting him in his claim to be spied on? Because not one single other reporter is saying anything about it. Hello, Artie.
Very interesting.
Wow, this is not good for Carlson.
Lord forbid if I was like NSA director, I'd be like, oh, you're saying we're spying on you? Let's serve you with a nice little subpoena so you can come in and then now we can really ask you questions, you know, like, but that's just me.
Yeah. What'd you get, Becca?
I asked, why is Fox News not backing up Tucker Carlson's claims that he's being spied on by the NSA? Because he's just whipping up the base. They see him as just someone that's whipping up the base because the viewers have very small knowledge or immature knowledge. The audience is stupid. And that's their moneymaker. So that's what I get. Why they're not backing him up.
Yeah. What are you getting, Johnie?
I get that some feel as though he's just being emotional and possibly medicated of some sort here. And then there's a lot of them that just feels as though this is just a narrative of some sort, that this is not, it's not an actual news story, therefore we don't need to take away with it. And we can't really, this is not an angle of punishing the government we really need to take. We need to sort of focus on maybe the DOJ or the FBI, not you being personally spied on. If you were to say we were spying on Trump, then we got an angle for our audience. So it's not really something they feel is worth running away with.
Wow. What'd you get, Lori?
I don't think they're looking at him the same any longer. I think that they think he's really taking risks, and they know that some of what he says is just really words that are manipulated and thought up. I think they've had some current talks with a lawyer in particular that said, you guys have to be really, 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 really careful with this. And I feel like they're thinking we're going to keep our money and we're going to slowly walk away from Tucker Carlson. I don't think they're going to support him like they did before.
It's funny that you say that, Lori, because when they took him to court to sue him, or Fox News, their defense was, you would have to be stupid to believe anything Tucker Carlson says. That was literally their defense in court. Like,
I think they're about to send him packing they're about to tell him, pack your bags, you're going. He's trying to get away with it. The challenge is the truth. So they're passing judgment because he's manipulating the truth. His support is burdened. They're asking a lot of questions about who's your contacts, who are you talking to, and he's imbalanced at the company, and I get heartbreak for him. They see him as working on his own and corrupt. He's not working with the team.
I think there's something coming out about this here pretty quick with this Knight of Swords here. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Can I do, I should have asked you beforehand, but Paula Stahl right there above Terry Solaris. Ugh. Pardon me, all in the camera. But she sent us feathers that she painted in line with her Cherokee culture that I would like to show. And I sent Jen and I sent Becca's theirs. What did I do here? Jesus, I hung it from something. And that's like Rubik's Cube to get it undone.
Who was it, Terry Solaris?
No, Paula Stahl, right there.
Paula.
And she painted these feathers for us.
Oh, magnificent.
And so Jen's has a dragonfly and Becca's has an owl. And she painted these for us. And I just want to say thank you on the camera here.
I haven't seen the one she sent for me yet, but Johnie sent me a picture of this one. It's just beautiful. And I have a great grandmother that was full-blooded Cherokee, so I'm quite touched.
So it's on the way. If you can go to her Facebook page, Paula's Painted Flowers or Feathers. I'm sorry.
Johnie, is that a stag on the
yes.
It's a stag?
And it's sacred.
Oh, that's beautiful. Love it.
She didn't know my totem animal. I'm like, it's a ladybug.
Ladybug?
So Paula's Painted Flowers. I keep saying that, but y'all know what I mean. Feathers. That's where you go if you want to look at some other ones that she's done. But thank you very much for that.
Beautiful.
The South Dakota governor, Nome, is sending National Guard to the border that was paid for by donors, by billionaire donors. Are they going to get away with this, or are they going to have legal trouble, like privately funding the National Guard to go to the border?
How do you fund the National? How do you do that? Who do you pay to get the National Guard to come do anything?
Yeah, to pay their expenses and everything. It's like, okay, well, the governor's ordering them down there, and then these private donors are paying for it because I guess South Dakota doesn't have enough money to send them on their own, so they had to take money from somebody to do it.
I'm still so confused. How do you? Can I do that? Can I pay them to come and like
protect my house from my creepy neighbors?
I mean,
I don't understand that. National Guard, a billionaire funded to send the national. Now you're playing with our troops. You're so important that you feel that you can just buy our servicemen and women and send them off while you're in South Dakota. You're worried about what's going on in the border of Texas.
And on top of that, the donors, I don't think they're even from South Dakota. I think they're from Tennessee or somewhere.
Yep. So what are you going to do next? Purchase our Marine Corps? Purchase our art? Like, what are you going to do? And that blows my mind when I saw that story. Why don't you take your asses down there? You know, like go on a little cruise over there with Ted Cruz and Mint Julep on a boat and go hide behind some plants.
Throwback to a previous video. Back in May.
Because I know somebody personally. I would love to send some soldiers to go bang and knock their door down or something. But you what? I mean, they're not the Blackwater people. You can't hire them to just go do your private bidding. Anyway, there is Eight of Swords, Ace of Swords. There is going to be some reckoning, some trapping, some tampering down, some correction of this in particular thing. It gains a little too much steam with the Six of Wands. There does need to be some sort of investigation or something into whoever at the Pentagon or whoever at wherever said that this was something that could be done. If it's not government land, how do you send government troops on your private land?
But that's the thing, Johnie. The donor gave the money to the governor specifically. So that's almost like, wouldn't that be considered a bribe, Jenny?
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, let's just take money from anybody to send our troops somewhere. That's like messing with the military.
You can't have a billionaire or a millionaire send money directly to the Pentagon and say, oh, this is for the troops I'm sending from South Dakota to the border. It doesn't work that way. So either the governor took the money for themselves or it just is going to disappear because that's...
Meanwhile, why didn't you take that same money and send it to the Capitol?
Yeah, it's a bribe.
Yeah,
It is.
Quid pro quo.
yeah.
It's like somebody may go to jail over this too. I get justice all over it, manipulating the military. They think they can get away with it, and had this agreement, but a light's getting shown on it. They're going to get way too much attention for this in America because they're corrupting our military, and they're going to have to give up on this. Yes, they're going to have legal problems. They're going to get burdened, and they're going to get blocked from doing it. Now, they could end up on a boat with Ted Cruz, though.
And Lindsey Graham, don't forget your life jacket.
Yeah.
Schmucks. What did you get, Lori?
Your plant. Your potted plant.
What did you get, Lori?
I don't think they're the only ones that are trying to go behind. I think we're going to find out more. But yeah, I get the very same cards that you guys are, it's a sneaky piece, the bribery, and someone could very well go to jail. But I don't think this is the only governor that's trying this. I think there's someone else because this is the outcome card. So it means someone else is still doing it. There's still someone else in cahoots. But I think it'll come to an end.
Mm-hmm. Earth Mama is saying that the National Guard is paid for by the state that they serve. Well, did the money go to the state or did the governor just say, thank you for the X amount $1 million donation? You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to track that? Like, those funds are given by the state and also by the federal government. So who are you to pay a governor to now have a private militia that's the National Guard to send them to the border when you're in South Dakota and you're talking about Texas? Like, yeah. I get a yes. Someone's going to get in trouble. They're going to have a lot to answer for. They're going to come under a lot of I don't want to say abuse, but criticism, and also someone may have a very significant challenger come the elections. Now, is that person going to be crazier? Who's to say? I think last I read, there's 36 Quackanons running for House in the upcoming election. 36 Quackanoners are running for House. So,
thank you, Marie. Well, I have two follow-up questions. Marie brought up one of them. Is Jack Abbott going to get in trouble for allowing them to come there? The governor of Texas, is he going to get in trouble for allowing a privately funded militia to come there?
Greg Abbott.
What I call him?
You called him Jack because she called him Jackass. That's right.
Jackass Abbott.
Because they need the same one taking emergency funds and rerouting to the water, right?
Yes. Instead of fixing the electrical grid.
Yeah. God,
We feel for you, Marie, down there in Texas. And FedEx is down there too.
I can't.
It's like they're going to secede from the Union and have their own little country, South Dakota and Texas.
Yeah, good. And let's see
Meanwhile,
how quickly you all
America
go
will just
bankrupt.
invade you again, and then you'll become us again. So, there you go.
Or go
But
bankrupt.
I don't get that he gets fired. I just get that there's a lot of fighting around him that could lead to him not being reelected. But I don't get that he gets like sued or nothing like that, though. But it is going to affect. Now, mind you, not just this, but the cold snap and all that. All of this is mounting up to, I think, him not being reelected. Though. People have memories.
It's just more icing on the cake because he's like betraying the country here. He's manipulating things and causing chaos and taking deals all over the place and creating anxiety. It's not good. It's treacherous. So, his paid for militia. He's not going to get to complete what he started. Yes, he will get in trouble. There's a group that's going to work together to I think get him out. Time's up. Like they're not going to let him get reelected.
What did you get, Miss Hillary?
I don't think he's going to jail. I think he will be opposed by a couple of different men that will be trying to uncover his secrets, and he's done something else that was really stupid, and I think that's coming to light very soon. But there are two men in particular that are trying to come after him and take his seat, but I don't see jail. But I see exposure for stupidity and stupid actions.
I don't get that he gets in trouble or goes to jail. What were you saying, Jenny?
I was trying to remember what you were saying before we did that question because it led to the other question I had about it.
Oh, crap.
Now I can't remember.
Crap, I'm sorry.
What'd you get, Becca?
I get no, he doesn't go to jail. No, he doesn't get in trouble. He's using it to expose more of his celebrity and try to raise passions from those around him, for him to like look good. Like, I don't get anything. Jail or trouble or nothing. No.
Oh, I remember what I was going to ask. You brought up all the quackanons that are running for Congress in 2022. So will any quackanons be elected?
36 of them, Jenny. 36 as if Marjorie Taylor Greene on her own isn't enough. Like, yeah.
Well,
Thank you, Desiree.
Will any quackanons be elected or re-elected in 2022?
So what I think happening already, because I hear this, is you'll have people elected and then they will turn, kind of like The Walking Dead. They'll turn, and kind of like the Tea Party, where you were just plain old Republican and then you became Tea Party conservative. So I think their party within a party will grow, but let's see.
And now they're just back crazy.
Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead, is that what you just called them?
They're all zombies.
That's perfect.
They eat brains and still aren't smart. So there you go.
There you go. Don't eat brains and not be smart. I get maybe. That girl needs a referral.
So I get a no with the Ten of Swords. The King of Pentacles is here. though. So there is someone who can not lead them in the right direction, but turn them with the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Wands. They can be turned. So it's not that they are quackers beforehand; they become quackers afterhand. But this is not newly elected people. I feel as though they're already there. They're in house already. I mean, you may have one that sort of comes in and that kind of thing, but you might get a new one.
Yeah. What'd you get, Lori?
I got the same card that Johnny got with the Ace of Pentacles, and not only did it fly out of the deck when I was shuffling, it was the first card up then as well. It's, you know, that's a big platform for them to raise money, but it looks like there's so many things that they expected to happen that just don't come. They're just not enough things happened, and some of them will drop out, you know, as more things do not happen and there's more information revealed. But I do have an Ace of Wands up at the top, so some of them will retain some power here. So there could be, but they're severely not only mentally challenged, but they are challenged by other people. Really, a lot of real negative energy around this.
Yeah.
Cool.
What'd you get, Becca?
I'm getting that they're not going to be, the Quackanon movement itself is not going to be at all pleased at their growth, if you will. So, I can't say no for certain. A few might get in, but perhaps not as many as they were hoping for. But their growth gets cut off here. It gets, you know, trim the hedges of your crop.
Yeah,
so,
I get a no on it too. I get like they're trapped, they're stuck. The abundance of Quackanoners that are running is kind of a surprise in the government when they count the votes. That a lot of them are shoved out in the cold. People want someone to do the work that are honest. They're looking for truthful people, and they're also looking for people that will work both sides of the aisle. So I get a no. Bye-bye. Oh, Johnny, somebody asked on my question sheet if you've ever lived in Nebraska. I don't know why, but I will throw the question at you.
Never.
You've moved around a lot of places. I guess they wanted to know if you'd ever lived in Nebraska.
They've probably seen me. I have a face that everybody knows somebody that looks like me. I went to school with you. Didn't know you're clearly 61 and I'm clearly not. So
Yeah, you got doppelgangers. On a funny note, since the government released all the videos and information on UFOs, will they ever release information or acknowledge Bigfoot in the government? Just to lighten it up for a little bit. Letitia's saying she saw UFOs over her house last night.
Fireworks.
So I asked if Bigfoot exists, and that's where I'm going to stop. Because I mean, what's the asking if the government's going to release information if it doesn't?
If he doesn't exist.
I get there's some information that is not believed. So it's like you can come out and say that this thing that you saw, is one thing, and then the people who believe you're trying to cover it up or you're trying to create some other kind of narrative so that we just get on. Well, whatever it is, it's a lie. So no, I don't think it'll be believed, whatever it is. Like it's some sort of scheme that you picked up. Kind of like with UFOs, though. I mean, the government will come out and say, no, we don't have anything at Area 51. And then, you know, there's the people who believe you do, and they will never believe you don't. So, okay.
Yeah. I get they've turned their backs on it. Whatever it is, it's blocked because they feel like there's something sneaky about the truth, like something is not right, what's being communicated. So I have on the bottom, like they think something's manipulated with the Bigfoot story. So like too much chaos. I don't think they'll release anything on Bigfoot. What'd you get, Lori?
I think there's going to be someone that's like the head of the ninja recount, the treasure hunter dude. That's the Dan guy, whatever his name is. There's gonna be some treasure hunter that thinks he's got some proof or something, some swamp creature. But it isn't enough. There's too much falsehood to it, and we already know that this is a childhood myth. I think that's what I'm getting.
Now, mind you, let me say that there are human beings with werewolf syndrome. I don't know what it's technically called, but that's what they have. This affectation on it is where their whole body is covered in hair, and you get one tall enough to walk around the forest. Boom, there you go. Well,
There you go.
I mean, there could be who knows what people are actually seeing, because nobody knows what Bigfoot is. So maybe you have seen something, you just don't know what it is. Just kind of like UFOs, I guess.
I get the same thing Lori did. Childhood stories, childhood myths, something like a lullaby, something you would tell your kids, you know? So, no. Can't come out if it doesn't exist.
Okay, back to politics.
Yeah.
Will the Trump investigations ever verify that he laundered money for Russia?
Oh, that's heavy. I kid you not, right? I have two computers. On this computer is y'all. On this computer is a picture of Bigfoot. Not even kidding. Right? It's some video game. Bigfoot, and there's a man standing there with a mask on his face, and a person who looks like Bigfoot behind him.
Synchronicity.
That's funny.
That's funny.
So the question is, will the Trump investigations find that Trump laundered money for Russians?
Yeah. Will any investigations of Trump ever reveal that he laundered money for Russians? Because he helped them buy properties and all kinds of stuff.
That's too funny.
Will they ever prove it?
Will they prove it?
Yeah. Will any of the investigations ever reveal proof that he laundered money for Russia?
I don't get that, but I don't get no. I just get that it's something else. I get that they'll show that he was on some sort of payroll, basically, that he was getting money from someone, that he was working on behalf of foreign interests as he was president of the, mind you, beforehand, but while he was president of the United States, he was working on behalf of somebody else's interests. I do get that there is money. That this is going to continue to reveal more money, reveal more quid pro quo, reveal more of that type of thing. There is also something around stopping. Oh, this is more like sanctions. So that there was some sort of pay for releasing or removing sanctions. So that part will be proved at some point, but I don't get laundering though. Even though I believe he did, I just don't see it here.
Yeah. What do you get, Lori?
At first, I was going to say absolutely yes, and then because I got the oligarch card here, but my Russia card came up, on its side. So I think they're going to say maybe it could have come from some oligarchs and some business that was done together. There is a lot of information coming out about this, but it's all over the place. It's all over the place, and it isn't just. I don't think laundering from Russia is going to come out first. I think they're going to have some sort of hard problem connecting it to actually Pootie. But there's something else comes out first, I think.
Yeah. What'd you get, Becca?
Same thing. There's an investigative woman, very smart, very resourceful, but everywhere she looks, it's just a web and very confusing. Very, very. It's like every way she tries to go, it's just obscured. And then there's the money. It's not easy for them to find. If they stay on that trail and they can stay within perhaps the statute of limitations, if they have a long time to look at it, they'll find it, because it's been so obscured that it's very difficult to see it. It's looking like it may have come through properties or real estate, perhaps, but it's hard to see it. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Through the banks. I get there's people working on it that are trying to, but like there's gifts of money that he's lost. So in the losses, like all his losses that he reports on his taxes, they know it's there. They're anxious about it. They know it's there, but they're trying to figure it out. They move somehow to higher ground. I get a woman too working on it. A woman moves to higher ground on it somehow, but she can't quite connect the dots. There's so many obstacles, like false endings, like maybe companies that like LLCs and stuff that folded is what I'm getting. That when they start investigating them, new startups that get abandoned, it's hard to find the truth. They know it's there, but he may end up getting away with some of it.
It's like it's there, but if you can't prove it in a court of law, you can't just accuse somebody. You see what I'm saying? Like,
if you don't have all the bank documents and stuff to back it up.
I'd like to go back to a comment J-Lo made earlier in the stream. This could all be over if somebody would go to Donald Trump and tell him that Obama can hold his breath underwater for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know he's going to go out there and go for 10 minutes a minute. That's all you got to do.
Oh, priceless. Priceless.
Thank you, Marie. Is Cy Vance trying to make up for not indicting Trump and Trump org previously by, and he also took a campaign donation from Trump when he ran for AG. Is he trying to make up for that now by the charges he's bringing out? Restitution, so to speak.
Too bad Letitia doesn't want your money, huh? It's always about money.
it wasn't about Trump before. It was about Ivanka and I Eat Paste and Sniffy. It was the kids before.
That he didn't prosecute.
Mm-hmm.
I get a portion of this as a yes. There's a page of swords, negative image, around money in his job, his work, things he's supposed to go out in the world and do. The Sun, Temperance, and Two of Swords right in the middle. So there is some sort of... Now, mind you, I still don't believe he really wants to do this, but I think you kind of have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something that you can't escape your duty on this one. You have the Hierophant, this is your duty. Seven of Cups, what should you do? It is weighing on your mind, but this is a personal thing. You still have a job to do, and that's what you have to go out and do. Which is why you're retiring at the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What'd you get, Lori?
Well, the two of them, their little tete-a-tete, there's more to this story than meets the eye. I don't know how much we're going to get out of it, but there is a lot to be told. And he is moving forward. Some restitution, but there is still some big undercurrents, some secrecy that's, I don't know. We should ask if it's going to come out. Something else is sitting right here on the doorstep. There's a big old story behind this.
Yeah. What'd you get, Becca?
I asked if Cy Vance was trying to make it up now for not prosecuting the Trumps earlier, and I got Crossroads Mountain Woman. It was maybe a bad decision that he made about a woman. A decision that was made and then pressure on him in regards to a woman. You know, a decision for him to just not move forward in regards to a woman. So take that for what you will. So
I get there's something he wasn't satisfied with. You know, he was out in the cold when Trump supported him. And he wanted to try to show some strength now. He's got a loop that runs in his head. It does bother him. And he wants to put that loop to an end. So I get it, yes. Like, you know, he's doling out the punishment, so to speak, through the courts. Trying to stand independent from him and bully him back.
Now, what can we go into and see what Lori was getting with her High Priestess?
Yeah, what's the undercurrent here?
I'm going to sit this one out because that's tarot. So I'll just sit here.
What's the secret between Trump and...
Well, I mean, it could be the woman, you know, it could be a mistress or a woman, Becca.
I was reading the woman in my read as possibly Ivanka Trump, because Ivanka Trump was in a world of trouble because they were defrauding investors for Trump Soho, is what got them in trouble.
So did they make a secret deal to drop that before? What's the secret?
I do want to know too. Also, if we could follow up next, what are they going to offer Weisselberg?
Diapers.
Well, according to my cards, a coffin.
Because if he never sees jail, like none of us got jail, then what are they offering him?
A coffin and a hearse. I shouldn't laugh about that. Sorry.
There is something else under everything. There's something worried about courts, justice system, that type of thing. But this is also worried about what kind of actions that he needs to take going forward. I got Knight of Wands around the Six of Cups. This has something to do with the children and baby children of the Trump family. And not just the three, but there is some sort of under the table, or there's some sort of deal that involves Jared too. There is also the head of that organization making financial trouble, so campaign donations or something of that nature. Here with the emperor, there is something about money, something about some sort of inside money that led to some little sitting out of prosecution. So there is still a I don't want to say a financial interest inside Vance right now, but there is a relationship that once existed that is still affecting what he does now. Because I get this here at the end. Somebody is still either trying to pay him or has paid somebody in his office for information, maybe somebody slipping documents to the other side or whatever the case may be, but there is still some greasing the palms going on, I think. That's what I think.
What'd you get, Lori?
I think it had to do with some, of course, power. I think a piece of real estate is involved in this with the Knight of Pentacles on its side. And it could be a part of a piece of a shell game or some other corporation or something that just isn't seen. Again, that's just like nebulous soup. But I think it will be found out. I think that there will be a paper trail. Something will be found out later. It takes a while. I don't think it's been completely discovered yet, and I think it goes back into the past dealings.
Yeah, I get something maybe on the internet, like a email or a document on the internet. Like they charged in together on something, some new idea, and then something changed in the contract with it, and something changed with Ivanka also, on something they were working on together. So there's something covered up. There's definitely something covered up that's going to come to light. And I think there's some family money issues that are also going to come to an end over this. So I don't know if it's like LLCs or something, like he's aware of some of the hidden money, something like that. It's like whatever it is that's hidden.
Yeah, like something he turned a blind eye to or went over somehow.
Yeah, but it somehow gets secured and offered up, whether that's through a whistleblower or something. Something's a little weird there in that relationship.
So can we look at what are they going to offer Weisselberg for his plea? Now he's pled not guilty, but that's one of those moment type things. Like you can't fight this forever. So what kind of offer will they give him? Will it be too late by that time? And you have to cooperate, therefore we don't have to offer you nothing.
They're going to offer a mullet cocktail.
Heard the evidence. Wow. Okay, I don't even need to pull one more, I don't think. The advantage is not in his court. Because it started with 4 people, which means that there's other people indicted that they will use against him. So it's sort of like if you don't want like they did Mike Flynn, if you don't want your son to go to jail, if you don't want him to go, be prosecuted, if you don't want me to go after your whole family, then you need to release the information you have, because the 4 of Pentacles is with the 10 of Swords. So release whatever it is that you are holding. This is a scheme because they have the advantage to do so, and it ends in the Fool and the Hierophant. So you will be cooperating whether you want to or not. So what's going to be the deciding factor? Time. When you run out of time, we'll be here. So nothing. That's right. Now he'll probably get time served or still slap on the wrist, because that's how it works in the justice system sometimes, but he gets no offers, I don't think.
What you getting, Lori?
I'm getting that they're giving him an opportunity to save his family. Like if you help us, we won't make them do all this time and all this hard work, because we've already got everything they've done on record. You're just going to have to spill the beans, and we'll cut the cord on the family members somehow.
What'd you get, Becca?
I get that they're not going to offer him anything, but the prosecutors and investigators are going to put those that he loves most at the center of attention. So whether that's his kids, his wife, his family, his grandkids, whoever. So
I get the same thing. I get they already have all the information they need, and they're just going to create anxiety through the courts. I get they'll go after like his two sons, investigating them, and where things were shared with them. He's going to be, just worn out, worn thin, worn down. The only thing they want is for him to tell the truth, and I get he holds steady that he doesn't do that. And then I start getting all those cards again.
Oh, wow.
I am just not going to go there.
Jenny,
go ahead.
I have a question. Did Weiselberg hear how Ivanka Trump all of a sudden forgot who he was and had never met him before and didn't know who he was? Because any person with the brain would know they're going to throw my ass under the... Like, he knew that girl before she was born.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
Let's ask what he thought of that. Or
Yeah.
was it premeditated, pre-planned or something?
Did Weiselberg hear Ivanka say she didn't know who he was?
Did he think he'd be the fall guy and nobody would go after little Zonky?
You know, what did he think about Ivanka not knowing who he was?
Oh. I don't believe in the devil per se, but I do believe in negative energy and negative intent. And when you sign a deal with that, all you get is negative results, whether it takes 50 years or not. That's all you get. That's what your contract is for. You can earn all the money in the world and it means nothing to you at the end of your life. Or if you're stuck in the jail or getting the perp walk and all these good things. I asked, is he going to be abandoned by the family? And I get yes. There's a family there. There's the patience there. There's the moving forward there. So that's a yes. And then I asked, how does he feel or how will he feel about that in particular thing? And I get two cards that both say stuck. Stuck, worried, and attacked. That's how he will feel. Now, mind you, if anybody should know Donald Trump, it's him. Because he was working for the family when Donald Trump was knee-high to the grasshopper. So you should know him. You should know how he operates. I mean, if you don't know, Google Michael Cohen and then catch yourself up. Okay. Sucks to be you.
What'd you get, Lori?
When you're in the inside like that, some people are just so, like Cohen did too. They think they're different, that they would, that this evil person wouldn't, that's the way they treat other people. They wouldn't treat me that way. They think they're special, but they're not. I don't think he likes Ivanka. I don't think he likes Ivanka or the other two kids. I don't think he likes any of them. I think he only had this. I don't think he likes to deal with. I think he thinks of them as the Three Stooges, and he doesn't want to have any communications with them at all. Just the father.
Are we back?
Are we back? That was weird.
Yeah.
That was not like internet dropping out or anything. That was just.
That was StreamYard doing that.
Wow.
That was weird.
And I will say, I don't want to sound like the Debbie Downer or anything, but I will be glad when these fireworks stop.
Oh, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Can you hear them at my house?
I can hear them at everybody's house.
It's still
Because they're
daytime.
right outside my house, too.
Yeah, they're in every single direction, literally, from here. But, you know, I'm in Redneck City, so everybody has one.
Mm.
Lori,
You were-
Lori,
Lori, you were sorry. you were saying that you don't think he likes any of the kids and stuff.
Not at all. He thinks they're dumb. Nope.
That's
Three
funny.
Stooges.
What'd you get, Becca?
I get that. Yes, he did hear what Barbie had to say. What did he think? He thinks that he's been nothing but loyal at work, that he's been a good employee, and he's suspicious of them. And he knows that if it came down to it, there's the man. So that's Weasel, has been loyal. And now he's very suspicious of everybody. But now he knows he would be the sacrificial lamb. They would sacrifice his ass to save their own. And
Yeah, he
I've had it.
saw it as she was covering up. It was very illuminating for him because he realized he was in defense mode and that he's trapped, you know, because of what Ivanka said. He's trapped and he's out in the cold from the family. So he knows now, you know, he's the sacrifice.
I'd be like, what did that hoe say? Here's all the paperwork with Ivanka Trump's name on it. There you go. There you go. That would have been me.
I think he's literally worried that they might take him out too. That somebody might take a contract out on him.
Mm-hmm.
Get you some McAfee security. You'll be all right. Put it on the bars of your jail cell. You'll be just
Very nice. Very nice, Johnny.
So, Getter is the new social media platform. Getter. Like, can you not be more creative on a name? Get her. Getter.
They claim that means getting together.
Yeah, Getter. You know, done by the Chinese billionaire that, you know, Steve Bannon was arrested on his yacht. So first I want to know how it's going to do, and then I want to know what Bannon's conspiring here, because you know it's from him. Get her.
Get her.
Get her done. Will it be done? Will get her be done?
Sounds like an app for. Get her.
They should have just called it Grabber.
I mean,
Get her, grab her.
Getting together. You didn't use the whole word then. Like,
Yeah.
So what was the how's it going to do, and then what?
I want to know how it's going to do, and then is Steve Bannon involved in this with the Chinese billionaire? It just reeks of Steve Bannon. Please don't talk about other readers in the chat.
we say that, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
From Trump.
Every Sunday, we have to find everybody.
How's it going to do? This is temporary. I don't know what it's temporary for, but it's temporary. There's the Ace of Wands and the Lovers. There is an initial, I guess, good time around it, initial reaction that they want Donald Trump. See, this is Parler's problem. They can't get Donald Trump to sign up for Parler for whatever reason. But this one was created by someone in his camp, so maybe this will entice him. So maybe he will actually join this one, and then it'll gain a little steam. There is, however, something. This is set up for something else. This is not social media. I don't know if they're funneling money or trying to control a narrative or whatever it is that they're doing behind the scene. But there's something else. Maybe they're trying to just gain a permanent audience. But I feel this is short-lived. It moved on, or either it's repeated a parlor and it's taking off of platforms because of something that's being decided on it or whatever. But I think it's temporary.
Yeah. What'd you get, Lori?
I think that there's already a problem in the company, that somebody's already jilted someone or taken advantage of someone. Someone wants somebody out or taken out somehow already. And then we get, the tower. I think it's just a way to raise money and then as soon as they get it, they're out. Like
It's another grift. It's like another grift. Is that what you're getting too, Becca?
I get that it just stays small. It doesn't. If they were trying to get as big as Twitter or anything, they stay small, and they stay small for a very long time. So,
yeah,
have fun with that.
I get it gets investigated, but it's about fundraising, getting money, getting people to partner together, the same old to get people excited for the White House. It's also going to probably have like a lot of the insurrectionists talking on it and making travel plans. So it's watched. It gets watched. It's a bunch of imbalanced supporters, and it's looking for gifts of money. I get that it gets shut down suddenly, like bam, sudden.
I had read somewhere, no, I haven't seen it. Right when Getter was brand new, they wanted it to be a place where we don't mess with your First Amendment rights. You can do whatever you want, blah, 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 blah. We don't cancel people. Well, there is a very well-known, self-proclaimed neo-Nazi who tried to get a membership, and they canceled his ass like that. So it's like, it's funny how they claim to be, we're not trying to cancel anybody, free speech for everybody. And then they get a self-proclaimed neo-Nazi and they boot him out. Like,
so historians ranked the past presidents again, and Trump was in like the bottom 3. How does Trump feel about that, being in the bottom 3? And Obama made the top 5 this year. And there's little Trumpy way down there in the bottom.
And there have been worse than him, I will say. First card, I'm done.
It broke his little heart.
Already cried.
His little heart to go with his little hands.
I think it started with the election when he was separated from the White House as well. Now, mind you, I know it was beforehand because that's why you cheat, because you know you're going to lose. But the actual losing part is kind of what really shook him. And so I think anything else is just kind of collateral damage. He's just continuing to be drugged down into a pit of they don't really like me, because they really don't. And mind you, let me say this too. Your supporters don't like you. They like who they think you are. If you were in their family, they would hate you.
Yeah.
Because you're a loudmouth, you're a thief, you're a cheat, you're a liar, you're all the stuff that they wouldn't like if it was them personally dealing with you.
Well, you got the supporters that got robbed on recurring payments that finally figured it out when their mortgages and all the other payments started bouncing because Donald Trump, the billionaire, had to go dip his hand in your account every 2 weeks for everything you got because you forgot to click that little button. And then all of a sudden, oh, I feel like I've been robbed by a con man.
Water's wet too, by the way.
I mean, one of the insurrectionists that was let go on his own recognizance or whatever until his trial date, one of the stipulations was that he was not allowed to buy any guns while he was out on his own recognizance. And he goes out and buys like 34 guns. I'm like, how stupid can you be? Like, they let you walk free, not even an ankle bracelet. They let you out of jail and you go and buy 34 guns.
And never mind my retirement, my light bill, my mortgage, my upkeep. No, let's go buy some guns.
Let's go buy 34 guns, you know, screw it all up. And now he's going to probably end up back in jail. So they're not the brightest color in the crayon box.
I love the uneducated. I love the uneducated. There you go.
So you love yourself so much.
So I get he's like a little bit surprised on the bottom that he didn't rank higher. He thinks that he they see him as a loser because of COVID is what I'm getting. That he's burdened as a leader because of COVID. But he's off you know, looking for his supporters, trying to grift and onto other things. He's not really too focused on it. What'd y'all get?
What'd you get, Lori?
I think he actually thinks that he tried to do his best and they don't give him, you know, they don't give him credit for it. But I also what Jenn, he doesn't care. He just wants the money. That's all he wants. He just wants more money, more money, more money. That's it. That's all.
I get that he has no idea that he's even ranked at the bottom 3. All he cares about is going back on Twitter. And if it's not on Twitter, then it doesn't matter. Because there's your little tweet birds right there.
There you go.
Get her in Twitter. So the Vatican indicted 10 people yesterday. Did y'all hear about that?
Yes,
I
we
got
should.
it.
Including a
One of them was a
Cardinal Becciui, I think is his name. Becciui, I can't pronounce his name. Becciui, for financial crimes, fraud, embezzling, abuse of office, extortion, corruption, and forgery. So, how's this cardinal going to do in the Italian courts?
Oh my goodness, this is what happens when I babysit.
Yeah, when a cardinal is arrested or indicted, the Pope actually has to sign the documents to have him indicted. Has to sign a release. The Pope also just had surgery.
So what's the question? How's the cardinal going to do?
Yeah, how's the cardinal going to do? It's Becciu. I don't know how to pronounce that. Becciui. Becciui.
Exactly, Shirley. Exactly. It's that one. They don't care. Stealing money, we got you.
You mess with the Vatican bank money, yeah.
But go have fun with all the little boys you want. We'll look the other way. So
I can't. How will he do?
How's the cardinal going to do?
oh, Lord have mercy.
I kind of, anyway, never mind. I'll write it down for later.
But what the hell was he stealing money for? Are they like allowed?
That's what I want to know. That's what I'm writing down. Like, your whole life is paid for. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, and part of it, he was investing funds in his brother's company too.
Yeah.
So he was trying to help his brother. Was part of it.
He was embezzling.
He was buying stocks in his brother's company and stuff. Greed. Greed.
Money.
Like even their clothes are furnished. Everything. Your robes. Everything. Greed.
I posted on my page. Let me look it up so I say it right. I think it was a chawadedna is the Navajo word for taking more than you need. Yes, a chawadedna. That's what it's called. Taking more than you need.
That right there is a curse, Johnie.
Good old
There are
Bill.
so many people that will never be satisfied, even like Jeff Bezos, sitting on a gazillion dollars, not satisfied. It's an illness.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to go to the moon. I can't help people around the block, and I can't pay people a
No.
decent wage.
How will he do? This is going to expose. Thank you, Marie. This is going to expose something else here with the magician Midasaur. That ain't what this is. That's what I heard. So I'll go with that. There is someone else of power in power that is about to have a lot of chaos around them. So that's what that would technically mean. But there's a man here, and it has something to do with finances and financials that is extremely worried, and it's not just him. Because mind you, in all of this, I don't get the Hierophant. So this has nothing to do necessarily with church. This has something to do with people specifically. So this is outside of it. So they're taking the money from the church, yes, but they're using it for personal things. So they're not taking it and then using it to try to start their own church down the street or something. This is for personal gain, and there will be more that he is going to be taking down with him. I think at least 4, because this person is represented here, he is represented here, and then there's 4 more.
Yeah, well, there's 10 they indicted, 10 people yesterday
in the church.
Yeah,
there's going to be
They indicted
in the Vatican City. He was the only one that was a cardinal, but there's others in the offices in Vatican City.
10 of them were indicted. 10.
10.
Wow.
What'd you get, Lori?
Lies, lies, and more lies. More deception, more lies. Deals, deals, deals. Magicians, sales. It's going to take a long time to get to the end of this. And there's somebody, we asked specifically about the cardinal. The cardinal has to protect somebody. He's got to protect the source, this deal. This was on its side. So if he doesn't, I think he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah. What'd you get, Becca?
I get the same thing that Lori did. There's that snake. Lies, 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 lies. How's it going to go for him? He's going to lie. He may lie about the source of the gifts or where the gifts were being mailed to. Like, oh, this was charity. I was giving the money to the poor kids living under the bridge. Lie. I was giving the money to poor people in Africa. Lie. It's all a lie. It's he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
Yeah, I get he loses the case, but it's going to give birth to some more charges. So besides the 10, I get at least 2 more, because this has been going on a long time. Again, like 2 more that we're working on it. It's going to take a while to unravel all this. They haven't finished their work on it yet, but he's going to basically be very dissatisfied, because he's going to be in like a 4x4 cell making license plates. He's gone from a cardinal. It's like there's something new comes out about gifts of money also, and there's another manipulator that gets exposed. So there's more to come.
You gotta hate the Catholic Church. And I'm a recovering Catholic. I hate them.
So the TC Energy Corporation wants $15 billion from Biden for blocking the Keystone XL pipeline, which he did his first day in office. Will they get it?
They want how much? 15 million?
15 billion. Yeah, they're up in Canada, and we have an agreement with Mexico and Canada on trade and stuff, and they're saying he's in default, so they want 15 billion. Sorry, did I freeze? They want.
Yeah, you did.
we have a trade agreement with Mexico and Canada, and they're saying that we're in default of it, and they want 15 billion for blocking it.
Good. Go get it out of Obama. He's the one that signed the deal, wasn't he? Don't take it out of the taxpayers.
Get no.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Oh, dear God.
This is a big fat mess.
Pops and bangs. I wish they would stop. That's driving me crazy.
I get they're going to transition them. Biden's going to change things by coming up with a new idea. You know, someone in the White House coming up with a new idea that they can find joy in because the pipeline is blocked. And it's a strong idea, new plan. And they're going to transition into something else where they get steady money. So he's got some other idea of what he's going to push them into. Thank you, Roberta.
Are we talking Keystone?
Yeah, Keystone.
Isn't that where the cops were cracking heads on because they were trying the protesters, the Sioux tribe on Sioux land was trying to stop it?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that happening under Trump. That was under Obama. I don't know when it was actually signed that they were going to go into agreement for it, but
it's part of the NAFTA agreement with Canada and Mexico that when we have trade deals, fair trade deals. So Biden, his first day in office, canceled the pipeline that Trump had allowed because Obama had blocked it.
Oh, okay. Because I thought that I could have sworn I remembered the mess that was going on with the Sioux tribe peoples with those private militia cops busting people's heads because they were trying to block the pipeline.
Yeah, but Trump allowed it. Biden stopped it. What'd you get, Lori?
Wow. I mean, this is really a big hot mess. It's a huge, big hot mess. It's, the 4, 5, 9, 10 of swords. This is a big, huge, hot mess. Giant problem. And it was all based. There was actually someone else that was going to benefit from this. And it was all based on lies and grifting, more lies. I do think there will be some sort of solution. They're going to be able to work this out somehow. But the outcome cards up at the top were the 9 and the 10. So this is huge. It's a big old problem. Big old extreme problem.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. What'd you get, Becca?
I get that the energy company wants their money. Right there, I get is going to be ongoing negotiations, but the negotiations are going to be very problematic because they just want their money.
Yeah.
Go stick that pipe up your rear and get it that way. So
Peggy Breen says that the borders are closed, so nothing gets in, nothing gets out, including the buildings. So there you go.
there you go.
Last fun question. Viewers want to know, what does Lucy think about when she walks in her garden?
Oh, okay.
Where's my catnip?
What does Lucy think about when she walks in her garden?
Dear God.
I heard that one.
It was loud.
I'm going to take an energy bath after this because this is driving me insane. Just don't burn nothing. There's nothing but trees out this way.
Joy, sunshine. She doesn't like to go out when it's cloudy.
Are you ever out there, or is she ever out there and you're not out there?
No,
Okay.
she used to. She before I took her in, she wandered the neighborhood.
Mm.
And then I started taking her in at night, and she stayed.
Prefers to be there with you. She also might see, I don't know if you have specks of light in your garden. She sees some specks of light, but it's hers though. She does feel as though it's her. Well,
It's her garden.
It's her territory, so it's hers, and she does like it. But I think she sees some specks of light in there too.
Yeah. She feels it's hers. She is like, I'm going out to see who's in my yard, my garden. I'm going out there.
What'd you get, Becca?
I get that she likes visiting out there, especially to be in the labyrinth where she gets to decide which direction to go. But yeah, that's what I get. It's like, where's the labyrinth?
Well, I get in the garden. She sees lots of dead things. I need to get out there and remove the dead flowers. she's like looking around and observing everything. Yeah, she's like, enjoys the time with the family. And I have the sun card on the bottom. Great joy.
Does she go? She doesn't go out there when it's like when you're in the winter, does she?
No, once it drops below like 35 degrees, she won't go out. And usually I don't take her out much, when it gets below 40. She'll go out a little bit in the fall.
It just makes me think because like she's so fluffy that she would just be one ball, like one big snowball by the time she got back.
She gets so big, like, and you see how fluffy she is now. They were laughing in the comments on her last video. They said she looks like she has pantaloons on. And I'm like, oh my God, in the winter she gets even fluffier. I have to brush her like crazy to keep her from getting mats. Well, thank you all. Lori, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, moderators. Thank you all, the super chatters. And Johnny's tomorrow live at 3 Eastern time on your channel, right, Johnny?
Adrian's channel.
Adrian, Red Little Healing's channel. We'll see you next week. Next week, we're going back to Becca's. We're going to reverse our order, right?
Yes.
We're going back to the original order.
The reversing our order screwed us up, and we can't keep straight in our heads. So we're going to go back to Becca's next week and get back in the loop of our regular order before we all were traveling.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next Sunday.
Happy 4th. Stay safe.